بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. سلام میکنم خدمت تمام همراهان عزیز. امید که در صحت و سلامت کامل باشین. با ویدیوی دیگه از مجموعه ویدیوهای مهاجرت، ویزا، پناهندگی و فرصت‌های تحصیلی در خدمت شما عزیزان قرار داریم. خبر خوش در مورد پروازهای تخلیه کانادا و همچنین پروسه پناهندگی دولت کانادا، همون پروسه‌ای که 40,000 فرصت پناهندگی رو برای افغان‌ها به وجود آورده بود. روز گذشته مصاحبه‌ای داشتن وزیر مهاجرت کانادا، از تغییرات گسترده در سیستم مهاجرتی کانادا صحبت کردند که در بخش آخر نوبت به یکی از ژورنالیست ها رسید در مورد از فرصت‌های ویزاهای بشردوستانه کانادا برای افغان‌ها پرسان کردند که وزیر مهاجرت کانادا جوابی دادن به این سوال که ما و شما اول ویدیو رو با هم می‌بینیم. در انتهای ویدیو من در مورد از همین موضوع صحبت می‌کنم و نکات مثبتی که در همین مصاحبه هست رو با شما عزیزان بیان می‌کنم.
Merci. Minister, can we squeeze in one last question?
Yes, yeah.
OK, donc, opérateur, dernière question.
Certainement. Thank you. So the last question will be from Janice Dixon from the Globe and Mail. Please go ahead. Your line is open.
Hi, Minister. Thanks for taking our questions. And my last question. A former Afghan employee of the Canadian Embassy in Kabul was evacuated safely to Canada. And he told me that he found out last week that his brother, who was meant to come here eventually, was killed, and he suspects by the Taliban, and says his family there are in great danger, and he's worried now about his brother's kids. I'm wondering, what's your message to this family and others who have de facto family members who are still waiting to come here?
First of all, Janice, thank you for your reporting on Afghanistan. From the very beginning, the work that you're doing is extremely important, and to all others who've covered Afghanistan as well. Look, my heart sank as you shared this with me just now. The situation in Afghanistan remains very bleak for thousands and thousands of people who may qualify and want to come to Canada. The circumstances that they're facing and the fact that they may be persecuted on the basis that they contributed to the government of Canada's efforts is the justification for our commitment to bring 40,000 Afghan refugees with a specific focus on those who've worked alongside Canada during our presence there. There's going to continue to be challenging circumstances. There's going to continue to be deadly threats by the Taliban against vulnerable individuals. And I'll remind folks that the Taliban remains a terrorist organization under Canadian law. I'm doing everything that I can to expedite the movement of people to Canada from Afghanistan and people who may qualify who are currently in third countries. This is not an easy file. There are heartbreaking examples that I hear about on a daily basis. This is particularly difficult to hear, but we are going to do whatever we can to work to bring those who've worked alongside Canada and their families here as part of the 40,000 Afghan refugee commitment that we've made, and I remain committed to.
And I realize, you've reiterated the challenge of getting people out of the country, but can you provide any updates on how that effort is going when you're, looking specifically at those in the country?
Sure. So we are continually discussing our efforts with like-minded countries around the world, with international organizations, and with countries in the region who could provide potential partnerships. I hesitate to go too far because there are certain conversations that are in progress that are very important to this effort. We're working with partners like the United States to discuss what we may be able to do. We're working with partners like the UAE to figure out how we can better arrange for the safe passage of folks outside of Afghanistan. There are some people who've been able to move outside of Afghanistan now. What we continue to lack, for perhaps obvious reasons to those who know the situation in Afghanistan, is a Canadian presence inside the country that allows us to process people and secure their safe passage outside of Afghanistan in large numbers all at once. This is something we're going to continue to work with, not just with state partners in the region and like-minded states around the world, but also international organizations that are seeking to ramp up their efforts, including the UNHCR, including the International Organization for Migration, and frankly, including regional blocs like the European Union, who are looking at different options to potentially establish a presence in the region. We're going to continue to have these conversations with all of our partners to see if we can better facilitate the movement of people outside of Afghanistan. Frankly, it remains an enormous challenge, but it's a challenge that we're committed to helping solve, because we are not going to go back on our commitment to bring 40,000 Afghan refugees to Canada, including so many of those who've worked alongside us during our mission there.
C'est ce qui met fin à la conférence de presse. Merci, Monsieur le ministre. Merci à tous. Bonne journée.
Thank you so much, everyone.
خب همونطوری که دیدین وزیر مهاجرت کانادا گفتن که ما متعهد هستیم به 40,000 فرصت و یا ویزای بشردوستانه‌ای که برای افغان‌ها به وجود آوردیم و سخت در تلاش هستیم تا تمام امکانات خود ما را به کار بگیریم تا افغان‌ها را سریعاً از کشورهای همسایه و از داخل خود افغانستان به کانادا بیاریم تا جان از اونها را نجات بدیم. در ادامه همونطوری که دیدین سوالی پرسان کردن که شما چه اقداماتی انجام دادین، که وزیر مهاجرت کانادا این گونه جواب داد که ما همراه کشور آمریکا، همراه کشور قطر صحبت کردیم تا از طریق همکاری با آمریکا و قطر، یعنی پروازهای قطری، خبر بسیار عالی است که صحبت شد در موردش، از طریق پروازهای قطر افغانها رو خارج بسازیم به کشورهای همسایه و یا اونهایی را که به کشورهای همسایه خارج شدن مستقیما خود ما انتقال میدیم، ولی اونهایی را که در داخل افغانستان هستن از طریق پروازهای قطر ما خارجشان میسازیم، پروسه کاریشان رو در کشورهای همسایه به پیش میبریم، بعدا اونها را از کشورهای همسایه به کانادا انتقال میدیم. یه خبر بسیار خوبی هست، یعنی این پروسه سریعا شروع میشه. بعضیا میگفتن شاید این کشور ما رو وعده های دروغ داده، ما رو فریب داده، ولی همونطوری که میبینین اینها در تلاش هستن تا افغان ها رو سریعا انتقال بدن، مخصوصا کسانی که قبلا با از اینها همکاری کردن که در کاتگوری اول هستن و کسانی که در کاتگوری دوم نیز هستن سریعا از طریق از همین پروازهای قطری از داخل افغانستان خارج میشن. بعضیا کیس نامبر گرفتن، بعضیا تاییدیه کامل گرفتن. تمام اشخاصی که کیس نامبر و تاییدیه گرفته باشن سریعا از افغانستان توسط پروازهای قطر خارج میشن و ادامه پروسه کاری از اینها در کشورهای همسایه صورت میگیره. این خبر خوبی بود که مایل بودم تا با شما عزیزان شریک بسازم. این مصاحبه مربوط به روز گذشته است. اگر مایل هستین تا از اخبار جدید مهاجرت، ویزا، پناهندگی، فرصت‌های تحصیلی